pharmacist Ben Fuchs. And for those that don't know, pharmacists tend to know more than doctors. I know my dad's an oral surgeon and dentist, and he will call pharmacists, and ask them questions because they're the specialist in these areas. They have to go through a lot of stuff even more rigorous than what doctors go through. They've got to know the interactions. They've got to know the biology. They've got to know the chemistry. And Ben Fuchs has been a pharmacist for decades. He's a leading health expert, and I haven't implemented all the stuff he does yet. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but well, might as well. Aaron's proud of it. Aaron has lost over 40 pounds following what Ben Fuchs does exactly in 2 months. The guy is going to be skinny soon. I mean, it's incredible. I've got family that started to implement it, and it is miraculous. So I'm trying to do what Fuchs says. And I don't know if you can tell, and I always lose some weight and gain it back, but I've lost about 8 pounds in the last 2 weeks just doing part of what Fuchs says to do. But that's another issue for another day. The reason I've got him on with us is FDA outlawing injectable vitamin C to further destroy health of Americans. And they've had a lot of mainline clinics, of course, injecting it intravenously and things. But now they're moving to say you can't take it as pill form. And if anybody advertises and says this has a health effect, you can't. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone knows that vitamin C, since the British discovered it, everyone knows that it's an essential vitamin for the entire body's metabolic system, just as vitamin A that you don't really produce properly until you get sun. That's why you need some moderate sun. It's like the old doctor thing 100 years ago. Eat some good fresh food, vegetables, fruits, and get some sun. Go, old nursing homes. I used to visit my great-grandmother in Dallas, her nursing home, and she was 90-something years old. They would roll her out, even when she was pretty much senile, didn't know who a lot of people were. They would roll them out, and you'd see all the old folks lined up outside out there on a nice sunny spring day. Now, under federal guidelines, they say do not let them get any sun, none. And Cass Sunstein says he wants to make it the law. So vitamin C's bad, sunlight's bad. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, they're really moving with Codex Alimentarius. Thank you for joining us, and please break down exactly some of the big attacks we're seeing on health freedom right now.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for all the kind words. I appreciate that, Alex. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing. I really appreciate that. And I know all of your listeners do as well. As far as vitamin C goes, it's really, the FDA is probably going to let Codex Alimentarius take care of their dirty work as far as outlawing certain supplements and keeping us from getting the doses that we need. Already, you can't get the doses that you need of vitamin C and other nutrients in places like Germany and Canada and some other countries in Europe. This whole thing around vitamin C is more like the FDA protecting drug manufacturers' turf against small manufacturers and against compounding pharmacists. It was in December of last year that this whole thing came about, where the FDA ordered manufacturers to stop making injectable vitamin C and compounding pharmacists to stop making injectable vitamin C, because as you pointed out in your monologue there, vitamin C is amazingly powerful. It stands out singularly among all nutrients. All nutrients are powerful in the sense that they're essential. The word essential means you better get it in your diet or you better be supplementing.
And for people that don't know, though, even People's Pharmacy, great folks here in town, it's taking over and supplanting Walgreens. They're building locations everywhere. Medical doctors are now more and more ordering stuff from these original compounding pharmacies. And I've heard on local radio shows they have on 590 on the weekend, and I went and looked it up, it's true, they're trying to ban natural hormones that they're giving women that have had 2 or 3 miscarriages so they can have the baby with that supplement. They're trying to, I hear them griping about, they're trying to tell them they can't compound vitamin C more and more, because real medicine, real natural drugs that are things like natural hormones, natural fats, natural vitamin C is really starting to anger Big Pharma.
That's the problem. It's big pharma. It's centralization. It's this massive monster in Washington that is protecting the turf of these big multinational mega corporations. And so the battle that we're witnessing is really between the FDA and local pharmacies who are responsive to their clients. But the biggest statement that we can make as individuals, in my humble opinion, is to get ourselves on a good nutritional supplement program. Until we are well nutriated, contaminated, Alex, it will be like shooting fish in a barrel. It will be fodder for these big companies, because when we're not healthy, we don't make good decisions. When we're not healthy, we will not be able to withstand this assault on our freedom. So our number one job as individuals is to disengage from the fast food machinery, to disengage from the processed food monster, to disengage from prescription drugs, and get ourselves on, number one, a good nutritional supplement program, and number two, begin to understand how to interact correctly with the foods that we're eating, because we are doing their dirty work for them. We are killing ourselves by participating in the foods, in the fast foods, in the processed foods, and in Big Pharma's poisons. And the number one decision, the most important decision we can make, is to commit to be on a nutritional supplement program and to commit to being conscious about how we eat. And like you were saying, how difficult it is sometimes to fight the urges, to fight the addictive drives for processed foods. The reason we have these addictive drives and the reason we have these compulsions for food is because food manufacturers understand how to hit our hot buttons. And our hot buttons are around salt, and they're around fats, and they're around sweets, because we have certain hardwired drives that are survival based. And as long as we're deficient in good fats, we will be heading for the fast food fats. As long
and
as
that's what you've done. Aaron is taking the plant and animal derived essential fatty acids, so he's not getting the calories. He's taking the whey shakes, he's eating the salads, and he says he can eat all he wants. It tastes great, and he literally is shriveling up in there. And I am, in the next few weeks, I've got to just fully launch on it. It's just, it takes time and preparation to make sure I do it all. And I know my wife's going fully on it. I mean, I hate to bring him in here like a guinea pig, but in a few weeks, I'll bring Aaron in here, and we'll show you a before and after of him on the show. It is miraculous.
You see, that's the reason I talk about the power of nutritional supplementation so much, is because when you start to meet your body's basic requirements for minerals, when you meet your body's basic requirement for essential fatty acids, when you meet your body's basic requirements for protein, you're not going to want the French fries. I hate willpower. I don't have any willpower at all. To me, it sounds like this horrible battle that's going on inside your body. Directing yourself towards good nutrients should be simple and should be easy. And once you've gotten yourself on a good nutritional supplement program, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm so big on Dr. Wallach's program at InfoWarsTeam.com. And if anybody's interested, by the way, in learning more about these products, 877-551-1301. The reason I talk about how important these nutritional supplements are is because when you start to load your body up on nutrients without calories, not only will it be easy to withstand the assault on our mind by these fast food and processed food companies, but you're going to naturally find that you're losing weight. You're going to naturally find that you're healthy. You're going to naturally find that you're not having to interface with the medical model.
Stay there. I've got a lot of questions I want to go over. And yes, I was going to mention at the end that the particular formulations of Dr. Wallach, I know you've been involved in some of that. They're all available at InfoWarsTeam.com, and your purchase of high-quality vitamins, minerals, and other supplements at InfoWarsTeam.com that Aaron and Rob Jacobson are now completely on, funds this operation. Stay with us. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs isn't like the normal groups that are out there, hey, lose weight by taking speed and starving yourself, and then your body goes into, a critical mode, and as soon as you go off the diet, you gain all the weight back and more. And I listen to his show almost every morning when I have a chance. It's on right before mine here at Genesis on the GCN Radio Network. And the rest of the office started listening, and family of mine started listening. And I mean, I know he knows what he's talking about because I've been around the country with him at events and met him out in California as well when I was out there speaking at an event. And talking to Ben, I never had time to implement it all. I have started doing the Tangy Tangerine and Beyond Tangy Tangerine that is available. I do promote this stuff because I went out and searched the best stuff out there that I was going to start taking that's available at InfoWarsTeam.com. But the issue here is that has given me a lot more energy because I was starting to really get tired in the last 6 months ago or so when I decided to start investigating health and really trying to get back into it again, because no matter how much you eat, most of it doesn't have the minerals and the vitamins and things you need because the cows are fed from crops that are grown on soils that have been depleted. You're eating crops that have been depleted. And when you do, take a Tangy Tangerine or Beyond Tangy Tangerine or Pollen Burst, and you get all these B vitamins and minerals and everything else, then you're not as hungry. And that's how, without even increasing my exercise, I've been exercising forever, basically, I've been losing weight and getting in a lot better shape, even though I'm under incredible stress. Now, going back, this is a short segment, long one coming up, but Pharmacist Ben, what else is going on out there in the news? Because I see a lot of attacks now on basic vitamins and minerals. I mean, if they're going after vitamin C now, and they're going after fish oil now, and they're going after mainline stuff, that must mean that people are really starting to wake up. And then I go look at the market numbers. It's true. People are really discovering common sense nutrition now. Do you think the system's going to be successful in trying to clamp down on it?
Oh, heck no. There's no way they're going to be successful because people aren't satisfied with their prescription drugs that are being marketed as the alternative. Prescription drugs are being sold to us the way commodities are sold on television. You see pretty models and you see spokespeople and you see all kinds of sneaky marketing messages being sold. Do you ever notice how these cholesterol drugs that they're selling always feature these big buff guys who are mountain climbing or riding a mountain bike down a steep mountain road, and they always look like the picture of health? The model that we're being sold is that prescription drugs are part of being healthy. And I'm telling you, as a pharmacist, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, it's 180 degrees opposite from that. When you take a prescription drug, not only are you not healthy, not only you're not doing anything to improve your state of well-being, but prescription drugs are processed by the body as poison, and you begin to degrade the body's ability to do its work, to do what it's supposed to be doing.
Pharmacists, let's be clear then for people, because I see different numbers, even in mainline media. But, you know, I always say there's more deaths from automobile accident than anything else. But really, from numbers I've seen, it's about to be eclipsed by prescription drug interaction deaths, and that's just the ones that are being confirmed. The medical community generally likes to cover up their own mistakes.
It's much worse than that. They're about the third or fourth leading cause of death right now that we know of, but many times people die of a heart attack supposedly, but they've been on polypharmacy, they've been on multiple drugs, and even though it says on the death certificate that their heart gave out, we don't know if it's the body's attempt to process 8 or 9 or 10 different medicines that cause their heart to give out. So I suspect as a pharmacist that you're looking at much more than the third leading cause of death. It could conceivably even be one of the top 2 leading causes of death if you start to tally in the figures. The bottom line is, though, you can't expect a prescription drug to give you health. In fact, they don't even tell you that they'll give you health. They tell you they will treat your disease. So we are satisfying ourselves with treating diseases with drugs instead of eliminating diseases at the causal level.
Here's an example.
Putting in the good nutrients.
Exactly. Talk about this briefly as we go to break. Shingles is a record rise, but I've read even the old wives' treatments for this, that certain foods with minerals and vitamins, that it's a deficiency, has a much, much better effect rate than drugs or vaccines.
Virus, the herpes zoster virus that causes shingles, lives inside cells, and it's an opportunistic virus. It waits for you to be sick. It waits for your immune system to be suppressed. It waits for you to be nutritionally deficient. It waits for you to be on prescription drugs so that your immune system is compromised, and then it bursts on you. Then it attacks. So if you have shingles and you're concerned about that, build your immune system up. Make sure you're taking your vitamin C and your nutrients. Reduce your sugar intake. Get out there and exercise. These are all powerful alternatives. They not only will eliminate shingles, but improve your health in general.
I want to talk about eczema on the other side. A lot of people, that's, as you know, Pharmacist exploding. I want to get into weight loss briefly as well, and then take some phone calls. And I want to talk about all this news coming out on Gardasil, that they are buying off legislatures, and Rick Perry. We'll be right back. GCNlive.com.